Hello students, today we are going to study control and coordination. This is second chapter of biology in class 10th. So right at outset, let me tell you what is the meaning of control and coordination. Control and coordination. It is working together of various organs of an organism in a systematic manner so as to produce an appropriate reaction in response to an external stimulus. There are certain terms that we have used in this, like stimulus and all. We will be explaining them in the due course of time. But right now, try to understand the way the statement goes. It is control and coordination means working together of various organs of an organism in a systematic manner so as to produce an appropriate reaction or response for an external stimulus. Suppose you happen to see a tiger coming. The coming of tiger here is a stimulus. Then your eyes see, give a message to the brain. Brain gives command to the adrenal glands to release adrenaline hormone in the larger amount. The rate of respiration and the rate of breathing that increases. Energy is given out as a in more quantity. Energy is given out, and you are prepared either to fight or flight. Still, it will not make everything clear to you. But what I am telling you is the line came, then our different organs and worked together, and we were prepared either to fight or to flight. This is control and coordination. Your eyes, your brain, the adrenal gland, and then your muscles, while you use the force for fighting or running away, whichever the way you do it. So that was control and coordination, working together of various organs of an organism in a systematic manner so as to produce an appropriate response for an external stimulus. I would like to explain certain terms here. And first, let me say what is stimulus. Stimulus. This is a change in the external environment to which an organism is required to react and respond. Suppose your hand happens to touch a hot plate, immediately it will be irritated. So here the hot plate, your hand getting touched with the hot plate, that was the stimulus. Or tigers coming was stimulus. Or in case of plants, if I say, if there is a plant and the water available is here, so the presence of water for the root here is a stimulus. Stimulus is change in external environment to which an organism is required to react and respond. After this, second term that very frequently will be used is dormancy. Dormancy. See, this we can tell that Mr. Ravi has got a lot of talent lying dormant in him. That means untapped, the potential that has not been utilized. And in this case, the dormancy means resting or inactive state in which the metabolic process almost comes to halt. Resting or inactive state in which metabolic process almost comes to halt. This is in case of seeds, etc. And what is bud? This is an undeveloped shoot which, when the dormancy breaks, will transform into either a branch or a leaf or a flower, depending upon the position where it is lying. Then the next question comes, how plants are able to respond in a limited way when we compare them, their response with the response of animals to a stimulus. See, there are two reasons. Number one is plants have only hormonal system, whereas most of higher animals have both hormonal and as well as nervous system. That is one reason. Another thing is animals can respond by locomotion. The complete body can be transported from one place to another, whereas plants have to respond by growing, and growth is a slow movement. So that was the reason. Now two more things that we are supposed to see here is, one is tropism. Tropisms or tropic movements, and nesties or nestic movements. Nesties or nestic movement, tropism and tropic movements. See, these are two very, very important. And right at outset, before we go into different tropic movements, let us say what is the difference between tropic movement and nestic movement. It is a very important question from examination point of view. Each one of you must know beyond doubt. See, tropic movements are the growth movements of the plants which are directional. I will tell you what is the meaning of directional. Number one, these are directional, they are not directional. That is one thing. Second thing that I want to tell you is that these are undoubtedly growth movement, whereas they may be growth, may not be growth. Two broader differences are nested movements are non-directional. I will explain it to what is the meaning of directional movement. They are non-directional, they are directional. And undoubtedly every tropic movement is a growth movement, whereas some of the nesting movements are growth movements and some of them are non-growth movements. That was the main difference. Now we will see what is the meaning of a directional movement. Tropic movements are directional. That means the movement of the part of the plant can be determined. The direction of movement of part of the plant can be determined by direction of applied stimulus. From which direction you apply stimulus, that will decide in which direction the movement of the part of the plant will take place. See, this is a plant, let us say, and this is root. If I put some water here, this root will start moving this side, and if I put water this side, then the root will start moving this side. So the availability of water has here decided in which direction movement of the part of the plant will take place. The direction of the applied stimulus can determine the direction in which movement of the part of the plant will take place. And directional movement does not mean the directional movements are both. See, tropic movements are positive and negative. Positive and negative movements. If the movement of the part of the plant take place in the direction of the applied stimulus, that is said to be positive tropic movement. Let us say hydrotropic movement. In detail we will see, but right now let me take movement of the part of the plant in response to availability of water. So water is available here and root moves towards the water where water is available. So this is called positive tropic movement. And stem moves in a direction opposite to the water available. So even that is directional. Because stem moves because water is available this side. So movement of the part of the plant could be determined by the direction of applied stimulus. It is not directional. The movement of the part of the plant is not called directional if the movement of the part of the plant takes place in the direction of applied stimulus. Even if it takes place in a direction just opposite to that, then also we call it is directional. So this is stem shows negative negative hydrotropic movement, and root shows positive hydrotropic movement because root moves in the same direction where the water is available, whereas stem moves in a direction opposite to where the water is available. So both negative tropic movements and positive tropic movements are undoubtedly directional. And here nesting movements, you cannot determine the direction of the movement of the part of the plant by the direction of the applied stimulus. You apply stimulus from any direction, the movement of the part of the plant always takes place in the same direction, which means direction of applied stimulus could not determine direction in which the movement of the part of plant will take place. Rest we will see in next class.